Hello, I'm Sharon Spielman, technical editor with Machine Design, and I'd like to welcome you to this exclusive interview with Jean-Pierre Hathout, the recently appointed president of Teradyne Robotics. JP is going to talk about how Teradyne is overcoming technical challenges, fostering innovation through passion with a capital P, and emphasizing the teamwork that drives success in industrial automation. Sit back and enjoy.
So you have to be passionate about what you do. Experience-wise is always try to do something new. Get yourself out of your comfort zone. I know it's a cliche, but I think that's what makes you successful. You need to try, you need to fail. The key is to stand up after you have fallen. And I've made a lot of mistakes. I have fallen, but the the key is to understand what you've done wrong and do it better. This whole, in all my, prior to Teradyne, in all my career, I did not do robotics, by the way. I did controls. When I was at Bosch, I was a resident engineer at the Robotics Institute in Carnegie Mellon. And the whole idea was to get the knowledge that Carnegie Mellon is developing and creating for autonomous robots and bring that to autonomous cars. This was more than 22 years ago. So you can imagine this was like crazy stuff.
Right.
And I've never shied away from doing the crazy stuff. So that's a lot of experience. Also, I would encourage people, and that's my career, to jump from function to function and not be afraid. Very good question. And my colleague, the president of MIR, who I've been working very close to him since I started at Teradyne, his name is Kevin Dumas. And he and I started this platform project to use the safety control algorithm of UR, which is proprietary to UR, into the MIR platform. So this is a real example of how we use technology that UR spent 20 years developing at MIR. This will allow the MIR AMRs to be faster, nimbler, navigate easier, and grow our fleet to record numbers, which we do now. So you will see very, very exciting things coming from MIR, but piggybacking on technology that we have at UR. That's just an example. Also, cross-functional exchange. A lot of engineers from UR want to change and do something else. I have an expert who got his master's in fleet navigation at UR, and the minute I took over, he came and said, you know what, I would like to help MIR. So this helps a lot. I love the fact that we have people who are really using the cobots, the robots, the applications, people who are in the thick of things, you know. Very applied show, very application-oriented. Had very good discussions with partners, but also with customers, existing customers and potential ones. So very exciting. So actually, I'm glad you're asking me this question, because the product that we just launched this morning, the UR8L, L stands for long, is exactly dedicated to solve these challenges. From one side, it is a product based on a platform that we launched at Automate, the UR15, which brings the speed. And then we have control algorithms like OptiMove that gives you the speed without the vibration, so it compensates for the vibration, and Motion Plus that optimizes your trajectory. So UR8 long long is for reachability, so it is dedicated to applications of welding, of inspection, of bin picking that we didn't have before in our portfolio, and it has higher dexterity. So it will reach nooks and areas that we reach for the first time, and it makes the job of our partners much easier. The main hurdle was to be very precise, because when you weld, you want to be very precise. You want to make sure that your welding is, very high quality. So vibration that I mentioned before was a challenge, and we have solved this with this control algorithms that stabilizes gives you the speed. We go at speeds of about 6 meters per second, which is very close to what traditional robotics, go, with the safety and with the stability that you need to do a very precise weld. So this was one of the challenges. Also, the dexterity of getting to very tight places was another challenge. So this is what I remember. I'm a very technical guy. I'm a mechanical engineer by degree, but also who spent a lot of time in electrical engineering. So I spent with the team hours and hours to stabilize the 8L. I'm trying to bring the culture of, I'm using an extreme description here of quick and dirty as first pass, and then optimize. So reiterate on the design rather than aspire to be perfect from the first step. So I believe this will bring us much closer to the application and much quicker to satisfy our customers. And I keep telling my engineers, you do not have to be perfect out of the lab, but rather do the optimization where the application is. So I think this is very effective. I've used it in my career. Prior to Teradyne Robotics, I spent 18 years with Bosch, and I think I learned this from them. Another thing is quality in everything we do. We should focus on quality from day one when we are at the drawing board of any cobot that we do. AI is a big umbrella, and it's something that people use now for anything. I want to be very specific. So we started with the AI accelerator, and it's actually, it's not a product, but rather a toolbox that our partners can use to facilitate their applications. We will build more on this. We will have precise bin picking based on this. We have a completely new control platform and cobot platform that we are launching with a performance tool flange that will be much more amenable for people to use and utilize. We are bringing a new polyscope. It's called Polyscope X. It's our basically backbone of software. And this will add a lot of ease for using our cobots. We will also have enough compute capacity in our control box to have processing, much higher processing power. You know that we're partnering with NVIDIA there, so they will be able to put their technology on our cobots, and this will allow for real AI applications to serve manufacturing in the future. Also, we will have the ability to put many sensors, including cameras, and not specific camera that we will impose, but we will have a platform that is amenable to any camera and any precision that the application will require. So we need to have a platform that allows you to use high compute. And we did this with our first physical AI product. It's the Mir 1200 pallet jack. It has enough compute for the future. So we didn't look only at today, but we built a platform that we can enhance and use much more AI into. Let me just expand on this. The Mir 1200 is the first pallet jack, robotic pallet jack, that is able to recognize a pallet while walking next to it and not only standing in front of it. Competitors have to give you the exact location of the pallet, and if the pose is different, you would have an e-stop. Ours would adapt, and it's thanks to discriminatory machine learning. So I'm being very specific there. This also allows us to recognize a pallet that has shrink wrapping around it, which is very common. Recognize a pallet that is misplaced, because in these warehouses, especially logistics, people could bang on it and move and displace it. It recognizes also a broken pallet. So I started with this because I was part of the team that released this when I was at Mir. And then another thing is, again, the toolbox that I told you about, the AI accelerator. And this is a platform for us to build on. Challenges there, again, bring enough compute, and then so that these creative engineers could put all the AI algorithms that they want on. So for example, the family that I talked about, the UR15 family, the UR family, we just passed Clean Room Class 4, which will open an industry, which is the semiconductor and electronics industry, and we would be piggybacking on Teradyne, who is building testers for this industry. So this will allow us to grow there. Also, the UR15, which has passed this Clean Room Class 4, has a very high IP for dust and water and humidity, IP65. What does this allow us? Allow us to enter the pharma industry. And right after that, we will enter the food and beverage. So these are the things that come to mind now. One discussion that I had with partners this morning and with prospective customers is shipyards, building ships. So the IP, the high IP will help us there. The speed, the reachability will help us, and the fact that we have dedicated a cobot for welding and for plasma cutting. So all this will open all these industries. So about intellectual property, I am very strong supporter of patenting everything that we do. And any idea that we have, we need to right away write and send it to our IP legal department. So this is something that I'm encouraging. When it comes to partners, I mean, we have partners that have been with us, and actually you've seen them here at Fabtech. I'll name a few without preferential, but I mean, they've been with us since 2018, 2019, and we play with open cards. We trust them, they trust us. Vectis is one of them. THG is another. Higher Robotics, and they all have their own specialty and applications, and they are known in the market for different applications. So we work together, we sit together, and actually we listen to the voice of the customer in any new platform we build. And this is how we innovate. We also have very strong relationships with American and European universities. I mean, we know how Mir and UR started. It's thanks to brilliant people who came out of South Denmark University, and they founded these companies. But we have very strong relationships. My alma mater is MIT, So I heard that they were using our cobots in a class. They have these classes right after Christmas in January. It's called the Independent Activity Period, and students are encouraged to, if they want to blow glass or learn something completely that is not taught officially at MIT. And there was a course in using cobots or collaborative robots, and they used exclusively our cobots at UR. So that's how we collaborate. And whenever we have challenges, we go to an expert university and we challenge them. We've done it in the past where we went to a class with an open problem that we had, and we challenged very young students, undergrad, to solve it. Universal Robots set the standard for safety. We have a gentleman, his name is David Brunt. He was the center guy who came up with safety with robots. I was in a discussion with THG, and they came and said we want to add more safety for the welder. So this is central to everything we do. As much as we hear from them about specs and speed, a very good partner like THG came and said, hey, but I want also safety. And I said, really? We're not that safe? No, you are, but I want even more. And I promised to bring this brilliant guy, David Brunt, to them. And we will sit and we will listen to them and we will do it. So safety is central to us. This change I made even before joining or being given the presidency of Teradyne Robotics. When I joined UR, I have a senior management team, and I noticed that the presence of technologists and engineers was minimal. So I changed this balance. We have now half of my senior management team from R&D and product management. So I believe listening to their voice, even if they are sometimes a bit nerdy, is very valuable. We are a technology company, so technology with a big T, capital T, should be represented in the management. So this is a change that I did immediately. I also value engineers, so I elevated them. And one of the mottos that I live by is that less management, meaning even if you have engineering managers, part of their time should be, if they are a software engineer, in coding. If they are designers, they should design, and so on. I do not want to have managers who are just sitting on their, over their ivory tower and giving orders. I want them to contribute. And I do it myself, by the way. And when my engineers have to work on the weekend sometimes because we're solving a very important problem, and I tell them, call me. I have nothing better to do when I'm in Denmark or in Boston. And they do. And I come with a pizza and a couple of drinks, and we sit together and we code. I think it's all about teamwork. I mean, we will succeed if we work as equals and if we listen to each other. And I think there is so much. I tell them it's not a matter of talent. They are very talented. It's not a matter of IQ. I'm surrounded by the most intelligent engineers that I can find on this planet. It's a matter of being humble and accepting to hear each other, and disagreeing, that's fine, but committing and not ending up in philosophical discussions. I remember this quote by Michael Jordan, basketball. He said, and I want to remember it as he said it, he said, talent wins you games, but doesn't win you championship. What wins you championship is intelligence and teamwork. It's not a skill as much as it is, I will say it, it's passion with a big P. You have to be passionate about what you do. You have to be convinced that what you do is useful to your fellow human being. This alone is what has driven me in my career to do what I do. When it comes to technically, I think a mix of mechatronics, so mechanical and electronics, would be something that a passionate young engineer should focus on, or software. I mean, my son is doing his master's in artificial intelligence, robotics, and automation, and he tried everything, and he said, "Oh, I like to do this." And software will be key. It's a key differentiator for them, but also for companies that are aspiring to have state-of-the-art robotics.